Hey guys, welcome to another video. I'm on a day hike on the Mountains to Sea Trail in Asheville. Still gearing up for my Appalachian Trail thru hike. I'm getting really excited. Thought I would make a quick video about training and kind of talk about like how I trained, how I'm feeling about my training heading in to the trail like super soon. I don't think this video will be like super edited or anything. It's getting down to the wire. I'm almost gonna be on trail and all the things I want to do are just piling up. For the Pacific Crest Trail, I trained from Georgia in the gym on a treadmill. I put like 35 pounds in my backpack and I would put the treadmill at the steepest it could go and then walk at like 3 miles an hour for as long as I could go. And I gradually built up to being able to do like 7 miles that way. But I didn't train too much more beyond that, but my pack was never really at 35 pounds. So I think that I developed like a little bit of extra strength and endurance. So also I wasn't always going at 3 miles an hour on the trail. Yeah, so I built up a little bit of strength and endurance even though I wasn't putting in like long miles before the trail on the PCT. And I felt like I did a pretty good job. Like, I feel like besides my foot pain, which I think was a result of my minimalist shoes for the most part, and then also just getting used to walking that far every day. Besides my foot pain, my body held up really well on the Pacific Crest Trail, and so I was really happy about that. And so I've always, and like over the past few years since then, with my other section hikes and thru hikes, kind of just felt like, okay, what I found works best is just like slow progress, is like sustained progress. Like if I have been on the couch and inactive or sedentary at work for like a couple months, you know, like obviously, hopefully that doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. Then like I really just start off my training getting outside for walks and without even a pack on, you know, like starting with like, you know, 2 miles and then 4 miles and 6 miles and just kind of gradually increasing my miles. And then I'll probably start adding weight once I'm comfortable around like 10 miles. Like when I can just go on a nice long 10-mile walk without my pack, then I'll, you know, start adding like a 5-pound pack or a 10-pound pack and just like make your increases. Like I made my increases really gradual. Like in Seattle, when I was teaching, I had to be at school at 8 a.m. and I was there until I think 4. And so I would wake up. I was just like, I had this super early bird morning routine and I was getting up at like 4 a.m., having coffee and journaling, and then I would go for like a 2-hour walk before work. And Seattle's pretty hilly, so that worked like pretty well. I feel like I just gradually added miles and then added weight, and it was just like very, very gradual, but like as many days as I could of the week. Like I would try to do it every day, get some kind of walk in, and then on the weekends I would have my longer walks. So if I was walking 5 miles a day, Monday through Friday, then on the weekend I might try to do 8 miles. And then like have a rest day. And so I think that like obviously doing it on trail, like hiking on trail, on a trail with your pack on is like the best way to train, but trails aren't always accessible in everyday life. And so I found that for me, it works to just walk places. And then I implemented like some knee exercises and leg exercises this year when I got to Florida. So, well, let me rewind a bit. So I was pretty consistent in the spring of 2022, just like slowly building up my miles. I was preparing for the CDT. That ended up just being a section hike. So I felt pretty prepared. I was still, exhausted because it was tough. 25-mile days, and when I had those were pretty challenging still. And then I got off trail and I wasn't sure if I was going to do another thru hike or when I would, and so I did the Wonderland Trail, and that was fantastic. And that's only 100 miles, so it was a really quick trip. And then I kind of wasn't hiking too much until about September and October, and I was in Colorado at this point. And then in October I was hiking a lot and it felt so good. I was just like hiking 10 miles a day. I was at a place where I was like, okay, I can hike 10 miles a day on trails with a pack on. And then every week I was adding 2 miles to that. So the first week I was hiking 10 miles a day. Then I was hiking 12 miles a day, then 14 miles, then 16 miles. And then I got COVID. And so I hiked like 250 miles that month, which was incredible, but I had COVID, and then it also started snowing, and I stopped hiking so much. So I haven't been that consistent. I haven't been as consistent since October. I still think that I've been doing a pretty good job, the best I can do right now with everything kind of going on. I left Colorado in December, right after Christmas, and I was here for New Year, I was in Florida for New Year's through into February. And so I was training from Florida, which is just so flat. So I was pretty worried, and then I wasn't able to be as consistent, and I was introducing all this trail food, which unhealthy trail food, because I wanted to get used to it, and it just wasn't making me feel good as good as this Whole Foods taste and make me feel. But anyways, for the past 6 to 8 weeks I've been on and off consistent, adding miles, but having full days off where I've just been focused on working on stuff and doing other things and having family time, prioritizing friends, and just other obligations. And then I'll have really big days, and I don't know, I haven't felt that's been the best on my knees. I think because I stopped being so consistent, I kind of lost confidence in where I am with my training. And then on top of that, most of my hiking was flat, so I was adding in squats and step ups. I made that little YouTube short. If you haven't seen it, it's just on a day hike that I also did some training, one of my training days. But I would do some squats and stretching and all of those things, but I just didn't do it consistently enough to feel super confident with where I am now. So my best friend from high school, Kendra, she invited me to come stay with her in Asheville and get some hiking in here in the mountains before I start the Appalachian Trail. So that's been really great. I'm so thankful to be here. It's been nice to feel what it feels like to be hiking on trails that are mountainous, and I'm gaining and losing elevation and rocks and roots, and it's what it's actually going to be like on trail. So feeling a bit more confident with where I am at with my training. But I was kind of hoping to be able to do 25 miles out the gate and feel really good. But that's just definitely not going to happen. At least I don't think so. I don't want to say for sure, because who knows, my body might just surprise me. But I think that I'm doing okay, and my goal right now is around 20 miles a day, and to to see kind of how that feels. If it feels like it's too much, I'm okay backing off. Feels like it's not enough, I'm okay adding on. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my training. I think if you're training and you don't start till April, you still have so much time to just get in those miles. If you're working full time and like researching your gear and trying to get all organized and figuring out like how to take this time off and doing all the things that happen before the trail, then I say just like relax, take a deep breath, let it just like come little by little, whatever you can do, like in the morning before you go to work or in the evening after you get off of work. You know, just bring your headlamp and make sure you're in a safe area and just hike when you can, but also try not to get too stressed out about it. I had a few moments where I had to reach out to some hiker friends and like just say like I'm getting so wound up because I'm not doing enough and feel nervous that I'm not ready, and their advice was like, you know, like you learn, your body adapts on the trail, and that's what's going to happen, and it's going to be okay. And so I really appreciated that. And so it is true. It's just a matter of like where exactly you want to be when you start. So if you can't do any training, you know, you can probably plan on like having pretty short days in the beginning, and that's totally okay. It's just, that's the best way to take care of your body, you know, unless you're like some of the super athletes out there that can just go 40 miles a day, from the couch to 40 miles a day. It's like, whoa, definitely not where I'm at. I have to do a lot of walking, a lot of preparing, a lot of training, a lot of getting stronger all the time. And yeah, I think, yeah, so what else? Oh yeah, stretching and yoga. Oh my gosh, I did like a few, I did like 3 days of yoga in Orlando. I wish I had been doing it the whole time I was there, but I did 3 days in a row right before I left Orlando of this like really great hot yoga flow class, and it was like strengthening my legs and my arms and my back, like everything in all the right places, and stretching. And so I think I'm honestly gonna try to go to yoga classes like on my 0 days, like as often as I can. Like, I'm gonna say that. I do really want to though, because it felt so good. It felt like it was really, like it would be a really good way to like add to your walking training and hiking training, to like get into a yoga class. And otherwise, like stretching out your feet, stretching out your quads and your hamstrings, I think is like so important for the longevity of your body. Then also hydration. It's like things start going wrong with your body when you're not hydrated and you're not like properly stretching. Wow, this is pretty rambly. I hope that it kind of made sense and that I was able to communicate kind of like how I trained and where I'm at. I think overall I'm not where I'm not where I wanted to be physically, but like that's okay. I've kind of accepted that, and I still feel good about where I am, and I still feel like I'm going to be able to like do big miles and be in my body and feel good. And so I'm really thankful for that. And then yeah, I'll just like slowly get better and slowly hit the miles I want to be making as the trail progresses. So for now, just leaning into just being where I am, being thankful that I can do what I can do right now, regardless of whether I'm where I want it to be or not. So let me know if you have anything to add in the comments for training for other people. and hopefully I get to see you on trail and chat with you in the comments or on Instagram or whatever. And so until next time, bye!